Hello, friends. Namaste as well. Durud. So, suddenly you might be feeling that I'm going to take a coaching class. Well, it's nothing of that sort. It's just that I was trying to learn a little bit of Persian in the recent past. So, I try to greet you in different languages. So, let us leave aside that light-hearted moment for a minute and think about a bit of cricket chatter. Well, as you know, IPL will be back and Sunrisers Hyderabad will take on Royal Challengers Bangalore on March 28th. More importantly, cricket will be back at the iconic Chinnaswamy Stadium after that unfortunate tragic incident on June 4th last year. No cricket match has been played at the stadium. So at least from cricket's point of view, it's good to see the game of leather and willow back at the Chinnaswamy Stadium. A lot of credit has to go to Venkatesh Prasad and the rest of the KSCA here. So that is in brief about cricket returning to the Chinnaswamy Stadium. Okay, let us concentrate on the match, Sunrisers Hyderabad and RC versus RCB, especially from RCB's point of view. When we think about RCB, obviously the talk of the town is Josh Hazlewood and his fitness. There's a school of thought that he will miss the initial part of the season. Actually, a lot of it seems to be true, but I just want to add a point to it. That is, the latest that I've heard from Hazelwood's camp is that there are still discussions going on. Discussions are still going on between the RCB camp and the Hazelwood camp when it comes to fitness. So keep your fingers crossed. There could be still a small window of opportunity of Hazelwood returning to the RCB setup at some point of time in the upcoming IPL. And then let us think about the backup. If Hazelwood is going to miss the initial stages of the tournament, it's definitely going to be Jacob Duffy. Unfortunately, from RCB's point of view, he didn't have a good time in India, be it in the bilateral series, be it in the T20 World Cup. One of the reasons could be he didn't really hit the deck hard. He was not really hitting high up on the splice. It's something, it's a skill that Jacob Duff is good at. I saw that during the Champions Trophy, during the practice sessions, when he was bowling to New Zealand's batters, he was hitting higher up on the splice. Even in international cricket, he has done that a few times. But somehow, in the Indian conditions, he was not really doing that. Yes, in New Zealand conditions or climbs, he's able to get a little bit of outswing, he's able to get a little bit of swing movement. But in Indian conditions, you don't really expect a fast bowler to get movement of the seam. So I think he should really look at hard length if he's going to play, and the RCB camp most likely will tell him to do that as well. Well, it's not just about Jacob Duffy. Let's also think about Mangesh, the new recruit with Yashtail not having played a single competitive game for almost a year. Who knows? Mangesh might get a chance or two. So, what are his key strengths? What are his salient features? Well, one of the things I noticed in a List A game, or was it maybe in a T20 game, Sai Mustaqali Trophy, was that he was getting a little bit of in swing into the right hander. So if the RCB camp feels as if before a game starts, during the practice session on the side pitches, that if the ball is swinging a bit, then they can definitely try Mangesh in the game because he definitely has a decent in swinger. So that's a brief about Mangesh if he's going to play in a game instead of a style. Then we have to think about Phil Salt as well, a dangerous cricketer. He has been a very good buy for RCB, although he struggled in the T20 World Cup. He is someone who can take the game away from the opponent's grasp in a power play overs itself. From SRS point of view, what can they do to restrict the scoring areas? Maybe they can try Hutch to base left arm spin and ask him to bowl with more of a round arm action, undercut the ball and try to jam down the bat swing. Yes, compared to Team Seifert, it's not someone who tries to play with a horizontal bat even when he's playing straight down the ground. It's a little more of a straighter bat when he's trying to, I think, target areas into the downtown territories. But definitely, one another of those players who tries to play with a lot of horizontal bat. So that is when a left arm spinner can come into the equation. Actually, last year, I think he got out a left arm spin about 8 times in T20 cricket. So that is something that Sharaj will be definitely looking at. So then we have to talk about Jacob Bethell. Absolutely, there's no doubt about his talent. He's a gun player of fast bowling, someone who picks the length really early versus fast bowling. Yes, with spin bowling, I think it's a little bit of work in progress. Yes, I understand that he picked Varun Chakravarti's googly reasonably well on that highway of a pitch at Wankhede Stadium. But on tracks that grip a bit, maybe he stays back a little too much. Yes, it's good that he's using the depth of the crease, playing back, trying to play short, square of the wicket, behind square of the wickets, on the offside or leg side. But on tracks that grip a bit, if it can really it can really lead to problems if you stay back all the time. You have to come forward at times. It could be gripping a bit while facing fuller length deliveries. You have to come forward. So I think these are the points that Jacob Bethel would be looking towards in order to improve further when it comes to playing spin bowling. So that is in brief about Jacob Bethel. We can also talk about some of the other key players like Krunal Pandya. He's someone who throws a kitchen sink at the batter, I believe. See, in terms, he's not someone Bishan Bedi or the next great spinner, but he definitely is someone who thinks about his game really well, darts it a lot. He can also bowl in more round arm action when needed. He varies his pace reasonably well too. I think he's someone who's even tried the short ball at batters. So he basically throws the kitchen sink at the batters, and he turned out to be the unsung hero of the RCB setup last year. Yes, there is Romare Shepard as well. I believe he's worked on his hard line bowling. Maybe it's because thanks to the RCB camp that he's worked on his bowling because he's definitely hitting the pitch harder and hitting higher up on the splice these days. There is Tim David and the wild card of this lineup. Yes, he has struggled with fitness. He's someone who struggles with injuries, fitness, a little bit of form as well. But when he gets going, he's someone who will be very hard to stop this player because he has so much power and he's also improved his offside game. And the RCB think tank will be hoping against hope that Team David will fire again on all cylinders. And then there is obviously Rajat Patidar, the captain of the side. I think he's an underrated leader. I've seen him captain the Madhya Pradesh side as well to glory. I think he's a very skilled leader and he's a very calm leader. Yes, a lot of credit has to go to Andy Flower. Even now, a lot of credit has to Virat Kohli, has to go to Virat Kohli. But don't forget Rajat Patidar. I think he's a very good leader as well. So that is about it, about RCB and their setup, about their main players. And who knows, they might even defend the title this time around. But I think it will be a little bit tougher because of Hazlewood's fitness. Team David not exactly in the greatest of form. But still, you can't count out RCB from again winning the title or making a huge impression in this IPL. So that's about it about this particular cricket chat, and hopefully we'll keep looking at our Revsportz channel because we don't just cover cricket, we cover other sports as well. Thank you again.